Okay, I'm very excited about today. I'm very nervous about today. I don't think everyone's going to agree with us. I don't know if we're going to agree with each other. It's very controversial.
This is kind of the first themed one we're doing.
Themed one we're doing. And
Maybe this will start a trend. Sorry,
Yeah.
that was probably really loud.
And I'm really excited. I'm really scared. And
You're scared? What are you scared about?
I feel like I'll discover new things about myself today. Things that I wouldn't want to admit.
Okay, I haven't thought about it that deeply. But
I love characters. I love analyzing
I do too.
them.
Maybe we'll become. Maybe this will be our thing. Maybe we'll start watching things and reviewing them.
Yeah. So anyways, what we're doing today is Stranger Things just ended. A lot of people have a lot of feelings about this. We binge watched it. I have seen it from the beginning. So historically, I followed the journey. But Eddie and I watched it together. It was the first time Eddie watched it, starting in December, right after his appendix burst. And we needed something to do.
I would say that probably makes us quite good reviewers of this show, because I doubt there's a lot of people that have watched the entire series in 1 month.
Yeah.
So we remember the first episode almost as good as the last one.
Yeah, and to that point, I have a lot of people who I've talked to about the show and their thoughts about the finale and things like that. And a lot of people found things that they hated about it, and then I would say something like, "Oh no, but that was in reference to season 3, episode 5 when that happened." They're like, "Oh, now I love it now."
You did catch a lot of references that I didn't get, like the Dustin's speech.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was Eddie's speech.
Yeah, it was a tribute to his friend.
In the 3rd season.
I thought that was beautiful, but a lot of people didn't catch that, and a lot of people were like, "Why is Dustin just being awful
and
to
honestly,
his principal?"
I would say more people didn't get things than did get things, and honestly, I think that's the writer's fault.
Yeah.
They had Easter eggs that were too far apart.
They were too far apart.
They were too far apart.
There was no reference to them. Like, if they would have talked about Eddie... Like, they didn't have to talk about Eddie's graduation speech before that scene, but they could have mentioned Eddie.
If they wanted people to get that Easter egg, it should have been like, speech, Eddie dies, Dustin makes the speech. Because then, you know what I mean? Like, because they did it, 2 seasons later?
Yeah.
You're not going to remember that.
Yeah.
I'm still not even, you told me, but I'm still not even convinced.
Well,
I don't remember that the speeches were the same. Because they're seasons apart.
They are. But I think all they could have done is that before graduation, they could have said something or around the lines of, "I'm graduating. We're graduating, but we're also graduating for the people who we've lost." And then they could
they should have made a reference specifically to Eddie.
And then I think more people would caught it. But anyways, that's not what we're doing today. What we're doing today is that we're ranking all of the Stranger Things characters. Well, not all of them, just the ones that, for
the
us,
ones that matter,
who have stood out the most. And we're ranking them based off of how much we like them in regards to how much they affected the show. So how much their characters affected the show. How much we enjoyed their performance.
If they were good characters.
If we got excited when they came on the screen.
If they were overrated characters.
Overrated?
Underrated? Overrated, like
there's too much about
their
them.
emphasis on the show didn't match how good their character was, which I think we've already talked about. There's quite a few of those.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, let's get
into it. So that's what we're going to dive into. So I have a list.
And we're going to put it on our highly professional ranking board, which is a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, but we're going to know once and for all who we find the best.
Okay, who do you want to start with?
So this is a randomly generated list from IMDb. Which is, if you're not familiar with IMDb, whenever there's an official film that comes out...
Randomly generated? What do you mean?
Well, IMDb creates these cast lists. So this is everyone, like from the extras from everyone.
Let's not do everyone.
But it has like a good base. So I'm just saying these are out of order. We haven't selected the order, but we're going through the IMDb list to talk about who we talk about first. Okay. And the first up on this list is Miss Winona. I love Winona.
Winona Ryder.
Who played the mom, Joyce Byers.
I didn't know she just like took an absence from acting for what? How long did she not act for? Years, right? Like decades?
It wasn't decades, but she stepped away from it. Like if you look at her profile, she hadn't done anything big or anything like this in a very long time.
Yeah. because she probably made a good amount of cash in her first stuff and then was just like, I'm going to stop for a bit. Mm-hmm. And then they wrote this for her, right?
I don't know if they necessarily wrote it for her.
But she was like her character, the way she acts was the inspiration for Joyce Byers.
Maybe. I'm not sure how factually true that is.
Okay, that's what you told me. So
I know, but then I looked it up.
Oh.
And then...
Are you just saying stuff?
Well, no, because I heard it from somewhere.
We might not be the best source of information.
Of Winona Ryder.
But we will give you opinions
about Joyce Byers. I will give you about Joyce Byers. But one thing that I know is that after they saw her audition and they casted her, they significantly changed the character because of the way that she performed it. Because
she's
originally,
a very good actor.
The way the Duffer Brothers wrote it was just supposed to be some really harsh trailer trash mom.
Yeah.
And then Winona put a lot more heart into the role.
She's a very passionate character.
Because it wasn't written that way.
Yeah.
Kind of like Steve's character, which we'll get to.
Also, one of the things that I want to say before we do this, I have a very, very big pet peeve, even though we're about to do this, for people who like talk shit. Not that we're going to talk shit, but rank things and give opinions. We could not have made Stranger Things.
No, we couldn't.
Incredible,
maybe in like 10 years we could.
Incredible show.
It's a great show.
If we say something, because I hate when people say they should have done that and they should have, this wasn't good enough and the writing was terrible, and it's like the reason that happens is a great quote from Christian Horner in F1 Red Bull. The higher you rise, the sharper the knives.
Poor Chris.
And Stranger Things is one of those ones. Same with like Dragons.
Game of Thrones.
They're so good, and so many people watch them that every little thing that people don't like gets picked out.
Yeah.
So it's like, and there's shows that are way worse than them that never get ripped on because they don't have that level of expectation. Their standards are so high. So whenever there's something that's like a little bit off, you're like, that sucked. And it's like, that sucked in comparison to the other amazing writing and shots and everything. So even if we rip on a little bit, it's under the understanding that there's no way that I could make anything better than Stranger Things.
Yeah.
That being said,
I would like to.
I want to try. I think we should be given a budget. But yeah. Because I hate that. I hate when people just rip on things. And it's like, you couldn't have done
We're talking about because we love it so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so first up, Joyce just gets the number one spot because she's the first one up.
Yeah, she's a good number one.
And I just love that character. Originally, the first time I watched it, when I was younger, when the show first came out, I think I was 15, I didn't like her character. But watching it again, like when we watch together now, I'm like 26, I appreciate her a lot more. Because I think when I was younger, I just didn't resonate with her.
One of the things that I was very impressed with, definitely watching from episode 1 to the last 42 episodes. Yeah. We watched 42, which means we probably watched about 50 hours.
Yeah.
Because they're more... Anyways, her character was so consistent.
She did a great job.
It was this... From episode 1 to the last episode, it was the same character. She had an arc, but it wasn't like crazy. Her arc kind of happened in the first season.
Well, I would say the thing that I found beautiful was it was a mother's arc, and then near the end, like the last season was about trying to give her son more permission.
Yeah.
And trying to let go of all the awful things that happened to him, which would have been so hard.
And I guess it was like she had this crazy trauma from the first season, and then she became a helicopter mom.
Yeah.
And then she kind of slowly became less of a helicopter mom. And then she became like a badass and went to Russia and did that shit. But it was, I guess she had a good arc. Yeah, I'll take that back. She didn't have no arc. She had a good arc. But I thought I didn't have, she was one of the characters I didn't think about very much because I never had a problem with her.
Yeah, she was great.
I was like, she was great.
She was great. The Christmas Lights, classic.
Christmas Lights was great. She did it because one of the things she had to do was portray a character that was crazy to everyone else, but we understood that she was sane, and that's very hard to do. That's hard to be both insane and sane at the same time to a different to the in the fourth wall and outside the fourth wall. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to talk like a movie buff here.
Well, fourth wall, like that would I think
to the audience.
Yeah, to the audience.
Yeah, and I was very in the first season. I guess she was probably most active in the first season, right?
I think throughout the series she was pretty active.
But I mean, the first season was so much about her trying to find Will. Yeah, it was everyone trying to find Will, but that was a big portion or a big what would you call it? If you could describe the first season of Stranger Things, you could do it with a mom trying to find her kid.
Yeah.
Right? And she did a very good job of being both crazy and not crazy.
And this show, when it was written, they only wrote it for one season. And then it got
which makes sense.
Yeah.
When you watch the first season, you're like, yeah, that wraps up. It's a good show.
Yeah, because it was originally going to be like a horror series that they would do in different places kind of thing. But then it had a life of its own. Okay,
Joyce.
Next.
So Joyce, good job.
Okay, this is
we should probably say who played it.
Oh, Winona Ryder.
Everyone knows Winona Ryder.
Winona.
If you don't know, Winona Ryder is one of those people that if you don't know her, you know her. You've seen Beetlejuice or something. Yeah.
Okay,
Number
next,
2.
Jim Hopper. This is hard already.
Hopper.
I love Jim.
I already am putting Hopper above Joyce.
No, why?
Because Joyce is... Well, I guess this is
but
ours.
In regards
Should
to,
we
like,
have
relevant...
our own list?
No, I think...
We have to collectively decide?
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a lot of movement. Right now, I would put Joyce and Hopper next to each other.
No.
No? Why?
Because I think Jim's character had so much more... His character was so much more dynamic. He was in so many situations. He had to be so many different things. He was a cop. In the beginning, he was like a low-life drunk dude, and then he became like a great dad. He went on adventures. He was... They could make a whole Jim Hopper series, and I would watch it. He did so many different things in the show. He was like a badass. They never really explained his background other than that he was in the military of some sort. Mm-hmm. But
he was a war veteran.
Acting was great. I loved that in the 4th season he got jacked. I think that was actually him supposed to be I can't speak right now. That was him being like malnourished. I think that was supposed to show that he was skinny, but he just got jacked. He got abs and biceps, and I was like, nice, Jim. You look fucking good. So I think Jim is better than Joyce.
I agree with that. Well,
yeah.
It's just hard because I love both characters.
They're good characters.
But I do think Jim got to be more. But then also, Joyce also went to Russia to save Jim. So she was a badass too.
But here's the thing. Joyce did a couple badass things. Jim was always doing badass shit.
I don't know if I agree with this, but let's move on.
And he was always a stand-up guy.
Joyce was always a stand-up.
Joyce did some weird stuff.
Like what?
Like Joyce had really dumb ideas. Like that was like one of the whole things of season 3 is that Joyce's ideas are dumb, and then the kids went around her idea. Remember that? There was a whole episode that Joyce had an idea, and they had to say, "Yeah, we're gonna do that," basically to keep her quiet. And they were all like, "That was really dumb. We're gonna go do our own thing."
That was the last season.
So she was a bit of a ditz, but anyways.
Okay.
Number 3,
Mike Wheeler.
I say we put Mike below both of them.
I do think, like, from a writing perspective, I think the Duffer Brothers were trying to make Mike the heart of the show.
And they failed.
I just didn't care.
If that's what they were doing.
Well, that's exactly what they were doing, because that was the whole relationship between, like, Mike and Eleven was, like, the heart of the show, but I don't really know if I cared.
I think it was the heart of season 1.
Yeah.
And then...
I would have loved to care more about that character, but I didn't.
I wouldn't say I feel like they kind of abandoned that relationship after. They didn't abandon it in the sense that they wrote it out, but they
made
didn't.
It less significant.
Yeah, like it was just kind of like it's still there, but it's kind of just like a secondary thing you remember every now and then when they bring it up, but it's not a part of the story as much as some of the other relationships.
Yeah, like in season 5, were they just friends? Or were they still in a relationship? I have no idea. Like, I thought, like, Jonathan and Nancy's relationship was way stronger than theirs in terms of their relationship. Even Nancy and Steve's relationship.
But Mike alone was
the figurative glue.
And he didn't really do anything in the last season.
He didn't. A lot of people commented on that.
And
thing.
I don't mean
a
like,
montage of Mike just walking into rooms and saying, "Hey, how's it going?" And that was the equivalent.
Yeah, and like I don't mean that the actor did a bad job. I just mean like he wasn't written in. Like they kind of just was. I think they kind of realized that he wasn't as important, and he was just kind of there because he had to be, because he was in everything.
Could you say the same thing about Lucas? But then Lucas kind of had that beautiful arc with like the basketball team.
Yeah, and Lucas had a really important connection to Max. Because Lucas was like the reason that Max got out of the Upside Down because of the music and everything. Even though it ended up not being. Yeah. But that was really important. Whereas Mike and Eleven said the whole time that she loved Mike, and he was like,
maybe.
But like, if Mike died, she probably would have got over it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he gotta, and yeah. Okay. I don't know. Mike was okay. He just didn't really do much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The next one we're talking about 11. This is hard because I feel that the whole show is kind of written around 11 and Will. Just in regards to things wouldn't happen unless they were in it. Does that mean that I am excited whenever I see 11 on the screen? Not really. I think her story is really cool.
Yeah.
But
I was really into her story.
Her story was great. I'm not sure if this is the actor or just me not caring enough about the character, but I wasn't invested.
I don't think...
As compared to some of the other ones.
Have you ever seen Hannah?
What's Hannah?
Hannah is... I don't know why I just thought of this. We should watch Hannah. Hannah's great. Hannah is a show about this little girl who... It's... I don't want to say identical to the story of 11, but very similar in the sense of like, there's this little girl. She doesn't have superpowers or anything, but she's trained to be this killer assassin, but she's 11. And she is essentially... up against this government agency, and they chase her around and everything. But the bigger similarity is that she doesn't really say a lot. And like in the beginning seasons, like 11, like her acting is all like, I'm going to cry. It's facial expression. She did a great job. But in the beginning, it was almost, it was less about watch this character act. And it's more about just like, this is a stand-in person
for this story.
For the story of 11. And I'm not saying that because what was her name? It's Millie, right? It's Bobby or something. It's not that she's a bad actor. She did a great job. But I feel like a lot of the show was more about the story arc of the character and not really how good the acting was.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But it was a great story. But I feel like it could have been done by a lot of different actors.
Example.
She did a great job.
So, are we ranking 11 for the story or for the character?
Because honestly, a lot of times she was kind of a bitch.
Yeah. Like, when she was in California and beat up that girl with the roller skate, I was just kind of... But she's also killed so many people, so the fact that...
Yeah. She did a great job, honestly. I would put, in terms of like...
Above Mike?
I would say...
I think...
Definitely above Mike. I'm deciding whether or not she's above Joyce.
No, I love Joyce.
Really? 11 is below Joyce. That's just based on your...
I love Winona Ryder. That's what that's based on.
Okay, yeah. Sure.
But I do think... It's hard because there's not a show without 11.
That's what I mean by it's like do you like 11? Like we like Joyce because Winona Ryder's a great actor.
Yeah.
Or actress. Is actor actress interchangeable?
I think it is.
I say actor. I don't think guy. I think people who act. Yeah. Yeah, we love Joyce because Winona's amazing.
She's great.
We love 11 because the writing is great. Mm-hmm. Millie Bobby Brown did a great job, but I don't think the way Joyce was made great by Winona, I don't know if it's the same for 11, whereas like 11 was great because of Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
I think
11 was great because of the Duffer Brothers.
Yeah.
Not because of that.
Yeah, you're right. Joyce is higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because Winona has so much more experience.
Yeah.
Just like.
Yeah, she started. Yeah, Millie started doing that when she was what? Like, how old was she? Like 10?
I think 7. I think most of the kids were 7 when they started.
That's crazy.
Dustin.
Fucking.
At the top.
Dustin.
I love Dustin.
I love Jim.
I would go to war for Dustin.
I'd go to war with Dustin.
Yeah.
Dustin is. I don't know. I
think Dustin is the heart of the show that they didn't intend to write.
In the later seasons?
Yeah.
I fucking love Jim. I don't know if I want to put Dustin above Jim. See, Jim and Dustin, I feel like can we put them beside each other? Is that allowed?
For now.
For now?
For now.
Because there's a few characters that I just equally would watch a season just with them. And I think you know who it is. Yeah. But I would put Dustin beside Jim because I feel like they both have equivalent importance to the show. And
I was so happy whenever Dustin was on. Like, whenever Dustin was on my television, I knew something amazing was going to happen.
But I feel equally about Jim that way.
Jim?
I feel like whenever I saw Dustin, I was like, I'm either going to laugh at something or something's going to be like heartfelt or funny. When Jim was on screen, it was like something badass is going to happen or this is something important to the story. But they were both very similar. But Dustin was just, I can't think of a bad scene with Dustin. He was so good in everything. So good. And the character choice, like whoever casted him, the writing of the character, casting it with him, because he has
So what happened?
I don't know what it's called.
I looked into this. So the
but
role
he doesn't have collarbones and stuff.
He has a disease. I forget what it's called, but the role of Dustin in the original script next to it, it just said like fat friend. Like that was the stereotype they were looking for because casting, if you're not in the acting world, whenever you do casting, there's always casting types and they're awful. They're just awful in the sense that they look at you, they look at your body, they want something specific, nothing really about you as a person or an individual. It's about what you look like.
You're an object in the sense of like you have to fit this thing. Yeah.
And then when the actor who plays Dustin, Gayton. When Gayton did the audition and they went with Gayton, they rewrote elements of the character for his disease. And that's one thing that this actor has said that has like changed his life, to be in a room with writers who saw him for who he was to rewrite the character. Because they like included the fact that like his teeth weren't grown in and that he could do different things with his body because he was missing bones.
Because wasn't it in the first season the bullies made him like do the thing with his, what's that called? I'm gonna look it up.
You can look it up. Look up Gayton.
What?
Marizo? Is that how you say it?
Came up very quickly. I'm gonna try. Cleidocranial dysplasia, and I think he even says that. He says it in the show. Yeah, which is pretty funny. But it's just like it's such a good like. It's because it ups his level of nerd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
And I think that's a testament to the Duffer Brothers as well to be.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Like the people who they cast and then rewrote some stuff for them. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll leave Dustin there. Lucas St. Clair. I remember when we first started watching the show. You didn't like Lucas.
Well, in the first season, he was just
the
complained.
Friend. He was the friend who didn't want anything to change.
He did a great job being that character.
Yeah.
But like I think he was one of those. He's one of those characters you're not supposed to like.
I liked Lucas.
No, but I mean like he was written in to be the antagonist?
For 11? In regards to the friend group?
They're like against. Yeah. I just mix up antagonist. He's the antagonist to the group when they're inviting 11 in.
Yeah.
So you're kind of supposed to be against him a little bit.
But that's just season 1.
Yeah. But then he's I think he's very similar to Joyce in the sense of he was just solid.
He was solid.
There wasn't ever really a point where I didn't like something he did.
Mm-hmm.
You know? acting was good.
Yeah.
He had a few scenes. He was definitely he wasn't a background character, but he was never. There was only a couple times where he was like front of the story.
And that was with Max.
With Max, the basketball thing when they were trying to find Eddie, he was like kind of the leader in that and everything. But no, he was good. I would put him above Mike. I would put him above Mike. Yeah?
Above Mike?
Do you agree?
You don't put him above 11? Well, I guess 11, you need 11 for the story.
11's just so important to the story. 11 like is the story. But Lucas, I just don't like Mike. Sorry, Mike. Anyways,
Nancy Wheeler. You have a lot of thoughts about Nancy.
Well, I just.
And I think half of it is because you're a guy. Just to say.
Well, because whenever there's a situation in a show where there's this one person who's being fought over in a relationship sense, in my eyes, that person has to be just an epic human being. Like, why are they the one being fought over in this situation by Steve and Jonathan, right? She is the one. I just kind of thought she was just an average person. I don't think she was a bad, like there wasn't anything about her I thought that was like Steve and Jonathan should be fighting over this. And they had multiple scenes where they were talking about how amazing she is, and I'm like, but I just felt like her character didn't really reflect that. So it's not that I thought Nancy as a character was a bad character. Her acting was good. She did a good job. I thought she played the character well, but I just thought the writing was a little bit off in the sense of they put her in this position of like she's this, not a goddess, but like she's this thing
and you didn't really see
fighting
that.
over, and I just was like, she wasn't that, like I didn't think she was that amazing to be like fought over, you know?
Yeah, to me, I really liked Nancy's arc in season 1, just because
I don't really remember what she did in season 1.
Well, the arc in season 1, and it's probably, well, you might relate to this too because you have sisters, but I liked it in the sense of her and her brother didn't get along. They bonded over this trauma, and then they essentially became a closer family.
Yeah, a lot of trauma bonding in this show.
Yeah, that was the arc of season 1.
The whole show was trauma bonding.
And then after that, in my mind, they really rooted Nancy to become this badass woman, which then by like giving her a gun and she's the only one who can like do a good shot and things like that. But that's all we kind of saw of her. And then she got into journalism. And then after that, you saw her wanting to be independent, but also want to have a boyfriend. So for me, I just wanted more because I agree with what you're saying that she was idolized by these guys. For me, I wanted to see some more like solo Nancy hero stuff for me to make sense of that and care more about the character.
Yeah, she was a
really good character.
She was the mom of the friend group, kind of. She's very responsible.
I think Steve is the mom.
No, Steve was like the fun uncle. I don't know, but I just specifically the only thing that I thought was weird about Nancy was like I kept waiting for there to be a scene or something written in where it was like, oh my God, Nancy is incredible. But I'm like, what? She's a good shot with a gun.
To attest to that,
like, that's not
kind
that
of the cool
attractive.
thing about Nancy is that she was a normal girl who did all of these wild things. Like she was a small town girl who was able to do all these wild, crazy things.
But so was Lucas's sister, who was like 8.
Well, they also made her a super genius. That's different.
I don't know. I think
that was kind of Nancy's journey of being like, this is like her normal trajectory would be like her mom, marry someone who's safe, have a whole bunch of kids, or she could choose to leave like that small town life, which is what she did at the end of season 5 and lead a wilder life.
Yeah.
And for that, I appreciate Nancy because I like the fact that there was a show writing that that's an option for people from small towns or just women in general to want a life that's more independent.
And maybe to kind of, I agree. That might be why. And maybe even to counteract what I just said a little bit, maybe, no. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into it too much.
A little bit. And then, to me, I like that they gave her the same hair as, like, Sigourney Weaver from the Aliens films. I thought that was funny.
Oh, like, super curly, like...
Yeah, and I don't even know if that was on purpose, but I was like, oh my gosh, there's a reference of... That was, like, Sigourney Weaver's character, Ripley, in Aliens, was one of the first ever, like, strong, independent action heroes, and I thought it was cool that they were trying to, like, relate those things. I would put Nancy, for me... like, at the level of Lucas?
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. 11's hard to bypass unless you just really like the character. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because 11 is, like, the show. Okay. Yeah, I'd put Nancy there. That's good.
Jonathan Byers.
I feel like you have stronger opinions about Jonathan than I do.
Well, in the beginning, it was hard for me to care about Jonathan because I just thought he was I'm Jonathan. Like, and I'm talking about season 1.
He was an angsty teen.
He was an angsty teen.
I think his role was to be I'm Jonathan.
Yeah, which he did very well.
Did great.
Like, acting did very well. I thought it was beautiful over the seasons how his relationship developed with his brother. I think that's what it grew into. It was hard for me to care about him and Nancy. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I just like Steve. But it's just hard for me to care about that relationship in general. I just wasn't invested in it.
I think it was supposed to be a relationship that you expected to end. Like, I don't think it was supposed to be a relationship that you were super into. The whole time when they were together, I was kind of like, really? They're together? Like, that doesn't seem... They're so different. Jonathan's kind of like this pothead. Even before he was a pothead, he was a pothead. You know what I mean? He had that vibe. Mm-hmm. And Nancy was the opposite of that. And I think it was kind of one of those things where it was a young relationship of people that probably shouldn't be together. And I think you were supposed to think of it like that.
That they grew with each other, kind of.
Yeah, they kind of were. It was kind of one of those things where this is gonna end.
Yeah.
But it's like they had some good moments.
And he started off as like a little bit of a pervy guy too, taking photos of. That was weird.
That was weird because that was another one of those situations where he did a really good job kind of playing two things, like how Joyce played an insane person but also a sane person. Jonathan played, to everyone in the show, to the characters, he was a creep and a perv, but to everyone watching the like the audience, he was genuinely concerned for the well-being of these people. Probably shouldn't have taken photos like that, but he was right to take photos like that because it's the way they figured it out. So it's like it's kind of played that double meaning. Careful.
So is Jonathan on the same level as Mike or above Mike?
I would put Jonathan. We really should have. Importance of story or character?
That's what's hard.
I would put him. It's hard to put Mike below him because I feel like Mike is very important to the story.
Let's put them next to each other for now.
Yeah, but I don't. I think I like Jonathan better than Mike.
I like Jonathan more than Mike.
I like Jonathan more than Mike.
Does more in the sense to his storyline with Will.
Yes.
And figuring out the whole Demogorgon thing with his photo camera and stuff like that.
His photo camera? With the photo. He uses his photo camera too.
What else did he do? His relationship with Nancy. He became a pothead in California. That was just kind of fun. Yeah. I liked his friend.
That was fun.
I liked his friend more than him in that season.
His friend was great. Yeah.
His friend was great.
He played such a good pothead.
He didn't get a shout out at the end, like the wrap up credits at the end of.
He wasn't in that season, was he?
Well, people who weren't in that season, they gave wrap up credits too. So.
Anyways, next.
Okay, next. Steve the Harrington.
All right. So Steve.
I love Steve.
We can't allow our enjoyment of his music to factor into. But that being said, I think it's without question that Steve is at the top.
Steve is at the top.
And
I would love a Steve and Dustin show.
Steve and Dustin show needs to be made. I think they need to cancel Nancy's show. I don't think anyone's going to watch that. I think everyone would watch Steve and Dustin. Well, I don't know.
Like, my parents are stoked about that show.
Really?
Yeah, my parents love Nancy.
Not a fan of Nancy. But anyways.
I think Nancy is for, like, kind of like what we said. Nancy is for the people who want Alamo to get out of a small town. Dream big. That's her journey. A lot of people relate to that.
Yeah. But anyways, Steve
Steve the hair
Steve
character.
was
An icon.
Steve had, and this isn't even my opinion. This is something that I've seen tons of people say. Steve has probably one of the best arcs in any show of any character in terms of he starts as a douchebag.
Yeah,
like
but he plays it so sweetly.
He plays so well, but then even in the first series or the first series. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Season. That's what I'm trying to say. Even in the first season, you think of him as a douche bro sports jock kind of guy, but he's nice and he has a heart, and you feel that, and you kind of have torn emotions about it. So even by the end of the first season, you're like, this guy's not bad. He's a pretty good guy. And then by the end of the series, you're like,
I would die for this man.
Steve is the only person who can't die.
Yeah.
Steve and Dustin are like by far my favorite characters.
They're my favorite too.
Yeah.
And we talked about this previously, but the Duffer Brothers originally wrote that character as a write-off. Like,
you said he wasn't even...
He wasn't going to last long.
He was contracted episode to episode.
Yeah.
He wasn't even,
But then after what Joe Keery was doing, and people just fell in love with him, they kept him around.
I think Joe Keery is going to be giant.
He's going to be massive.
I think Joe Keery, he's going to be equivalent to like I don't know, like maybe not like a Brad Pitt, but like I think he's going to have a crazy career now because of this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he seems dynamic.
Mm-hmm. He can do a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Steve, there's not even that much to talk about. He was just awesome. He was so good. He was a badass. He was like one of my favorite things that they said in the show. I think Robin made fun of him for it. Is like, I thought it was hilarious that Steve was usually best friends with all the kids who were like 5 years younger than him.
That's why I think he's the mom, because Nancy didn't spend time with the kids.
The reason I said Nancy is the mom is because Nancy was the one who was always like taking responsibility. Don't do this. Don't get hurt. Blah blah blah. And where Steve was just like the reluctant babysitter. Like he constantly was like, I don't want to be with the kids all the time.
The scene with him in the car and Max is driving is so funny when he comes back to consciousness.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Steve was great.
I love Steve.
Steve was great. Great acting. Great character. Great writing. Yeah.
Love Steve. Okay, next.
Love Steve.
Will Byers. He is essential because the show is kind of about him and Eleven.
I thought, honestly, I would probably just put him right beside 11 in the sense of I wasn't, I just had this thought, and it's a very analyzing movie thought. You could say that the show was more about all these secondary characters trying to save these two people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we keep saying the show needs this, and it does need that. But most of the episodes were about the other people trying to help those two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyways, side thought. I thought Will did his job,
Yeah.
Like, his character was similar to 11, where like, I don't love him, I don't hate him. He's Will.
He's Will. He did what he needed to do.
Will the Wise. He did what he needed to do. He did his job. Became a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Became a sorcerer. Yeah.
Yeah. Will's
essential to the story, but like, yeah.
Okay. This is a question of whether or not you want to include her. I don't know. Do you want to include the mom, Karen Wheeler? She was relevant in season 5 quite a bit, and then the storyline with Billy. But besides that, I wouldn't know.
I thought I don't know if I'd put her on the board because there's a lot of people on the board already. Yeah. But she did great.
She did a great job.
She wasn't in a lot, but when she wasn't, it was a good scene.
She did a great job.
She did a great job with Billy. That
was
great. Max? I liked Max. She wasn't my favorite.
She was kind of mean in the beginning.
I think she was supposed to, though. I think that was the same thing with Lucas in the first season, where like you're not really supposed to like Max in the beginning.
Yeah, I think she did a good job. To me, she's next to Lucas and Nancy.
She did it. I think she showed one of the things that I think she really did in terms of the writing was she showed that the friend group, the guys like Dustin, Lucas, Will, and Mike, they were very open to like letting people in.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's one thing. I mean, I think they had a crush on her too. Yeah. So maybe that was a little bit of that. But yeah. And then obviously she was huge in the end. Mm-hmm. The scene, all the memes about how long she took. She took forever. She always talked about stuff.
That wasn't her fault though. That was a writing.
That was the writing, but it's just like that's what
Did you put her here?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's a good spot for her. What is that? Tied for 4th?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Erica St. Clair, do you want to include her?
Yeah, she was great.
She was awesome.
She was so good. She's gonna be a star. She was so good. And what is she, 8?
Her first episode she was 7.
Yeah, I don't mean the character. I mean the actor. The actor.
No, I'm saying incredible. She was 7 years old for the first thing that she did.
She's gonna be the sassiest black lady actor of all time. Like she's gonna be that.
Very good.
I feel like she will be one of those characters that's just like she will always be a powerhouse woman, just fucking do what I say character in everything.
She's very good. So funny.
She's very
and
very
to have
good.
that kind of comedic energy at that young of an age.
Yeah.
Such a gift.
You could tell she's probably just like that in real life too, because it's hard to act that well when you're a kid.
Some of her interviews are really really sweet. I watched one of her interviews where she talked about her first time like really having a lot of dialogue and how she was nervous because she said, I'm saying like really awful things and I'm gonna be mean to them and I hope that they still like me as a person afterwards. And she's a young girl and
having
she's
to
like,
separate
I don't know.
the acting from
and I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah. No, she was really good. I would put her on the board simply because of how well she did.
But like for example,
what's her name?
She's in 29 episodes out of the 40.
Oh wow, okay. How many is Karen in?
Karen's in 38. Oh, so this is by episode. This is by how many episodes. That's how IMDb is ranked it.
Oh, Karen's in 38 episodes?
Yeah.
But I guess she has a lot of scenes where she's in for like 5 seconds. Yeah.
Karen's in a lot.
Yeah.
Priya Ferguson is her name.
Cool name.
Yeah. Erica St.
I'd put her on. I'd put her on there. I'd put her, man, I would put her near the top just because of how much I liked her character.
Yeah.
And I think her character was really, really important. She wasn't in a ton of stuff, but the stuff she was in, she was the solution to the problem a lot of the times. Yeah. Like she climbed through the vents and like, oh wow.
You think there?
Yeah, just because character. I feel like this is mostly a character. Yeah. How much we like the character. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Robin Buckley.
Oh, I loved Robin. I thought Robin was great. Robin, I thought, was one of the reasons that the later seasons had comedy to them.
Yeah, she was the comedic relief.
She was the comedic relief in so many scenes. She cracked jokes all the time. She was like the casting to character choice was awesome. One of the things that we didn't talk about with Will, and one of the things I've said when we talked about this before, is the coming out scenes. Mm-hmm. We didn't talk about Will's.
Robin's was awesome.
Will's coming out scene, everyone said
everyone knows. We don't need to talk about it. Terrible.
Robin's coming out scene, I thought, was legitimately one of the best coming out scenes, or just mini stories within a story, that I've seen in a show. Because definitely today, where coming out is often such like a woke push thing into a show, I feel like that was a genuine
natural
thing. It had so much story behind it. When she came out, didn't seem pushed at all. It was like written in really well. Like I thought that was really, really good. It was
beautiful. It was really good. And I loved
it. Made you like her more.
That they wrote for Steve too, and how it just solidified their friendship. And I thought was really beautiful.
It was cool that they like kind of kept it secret for a while after that, and then through that, Steve like helped her. I forget the other girl's name that she had a crush on.
Well, she had a crush on a couple girls.
Did she?
Yeah.
I thought it was just that one redhead
no, there was
nurse
a few.
girl.
Because there's the redhead nurse, but then there was someone else before that, and Steve.
But yeah,
the singer who did the national anthem.
Right, yeah, and then Steve was like, she sounds terrible, and he was right. But just that whole story of how she came out was I thought it was such a genuinely realistic yet entertaining story that, yeah.
Yeah.
Killed it.
Yeah.
I just liked her
comes
character.
from, like, the actress comes from acting legacy. Like, both of her parents are really big stars.
Yeah. Are they?
Yeah.
Who are her parents?
I say that, and yet I don't know, because it's all those really big films.
Sourceless information.
Well, no. It's, her mom was the actress in Kill Bill, but I've never seen Kill Bill.
Oh. I should know her name. Like, the main...
Yeah, the blonde.
Main one? Melissa Buckley?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then her dad is a big actor as well. But
Richard Buckley.
If you Google both of them. And...
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah.
That being said, she definitely didn't get the role because of her parents. I mean, they might have played a factor, but in the sense of that she was really good. Like, it's not like she shouldn't have been there. You know what I mean? She didn't get... Is that what... Because that's what Nepo Baby is, right? Yeah. She's not a Nepo Baby.
Uma Thurman.
She could have been a Nepo Baby.
See, the woman from, like, Pulp Fiction, Kill
Bill.
Yeah.
Great
actor.
Her
mom's Uma Thurman, and then
her mom's... Uma Thurman.
Yeah. And then her dad is Ethan Hawke.
Oh. Anyways. Oh, Ethan Hawke?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so huge... actor parents.
I haven't seen any of these shows.
Yeah. But
huge actor parents.
All right.
And then a story from an interview that I watched that I loved what Maya Hawke said is that she realized that the show was big because she was walking somewhere with her dad. And someone came up to them and was like, "Oh, can I have like a photo, please?" And her dad said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that right now." And the person replied, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. I want to take a photo with Robin."
There's a lot of people, like younger people, who probably have no idea who Ethan Hawke is. But Ethan Hawke is massive. He was in so many films. I didn't know who
Ethan Hawke was.
So many old, like not old, but like kind of 90s and early 2000s films.
So I would put Robin next to Joyce.
Oh man, I might put Robin at the top.
Really? I don't care about Robin that much.
I fucking loved Robin.
Did you?
If Robin, like once Robin was introduced into the show, my voice still sounds weird. Once Robin was introduced into the show, that was one of the characters that I would have been pissed if they like killed off.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have been indifferent.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she was so good.
I don't know.
All right, I'll put her. Second's fun.
We can talk about it.
We're almost making a little like graph here.
I know. Oh, Murray.
Oh, top.
I love
top
Murray.
Character. And the thing that I love about Murray... But the thing about
Murray is, would you have cared if he died? That's the one question I have.
I wouldn't...
That's why I'm
honestly,
wondering if he's like
I was kind of expecting him to die. I kind of thought he was going to have like this crazy death scene where he like does something heroic and is his character while being a hero. I don't know.
I also had the impulse of Murray goes to the top, but then I was thinking if one of these people died, I'd be upset. If Murray died, I would think he fulfilled his purpose.
Yeah, Murray was in the 5th season, he was there a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But in the beginning, Murray was just there to do a thing. But the thing I love about Murray and the actor is that, what's his name?
Brett Gelman.
Brett Gelman is Brett Gelman in everything he does. He's one of those people.
He's fantastic.
He is that character. He's that character. Like, what else is he in? I know he's in Step Brothers, Stranger Things, the other guys, or not Step Brothers, sorry, the other guys. Like, everything I've ever seen him in, he is that dude. Like, people cast him because we're like, we want that thing that you do.
That guy.
And he does a great job of it. He was such a... Yeah, that's good. He's such a good, like... He was such a good casting for, we need a crazy conspiracy dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Murray.
Great.
Whenever he was on the screen, I was so happy.
Yeah. Great part.
We won't put him on the board, but an honorable mention, Ted Wheeler. You love Ted Wheeler.
Ted was such
Which
like
is the dad. The dad.
He was a deadbeat dad.
Mike.
But he was a deadbeat dad that didn't have the balls to leave the family. So he just stuck around on the couch. That was Ted.
Do you know what I loved? All the memes in season 5 where like Karen was being seen being a badass and just memes of Ted in the hospital
and
waiting
Ted
for
was
his
like,
family.
watch your language from the couch. Like he was it was so funny that there was so many scenes, and he's a big actor. I don't know his name, but I've seen him in a lot of stuff. What is it? Joe Crest.
Yeah, Kirst.
Joe Kirst. It was so funny that there was so many scenes. It was so unnecessary for him to be there, but he was just like sleeping in a lazy boy in the background, or he was just at dinner. Something would happen, everyone would fight, and he just keeps eating. Like, it was such like the thing I loved about it was that he was so unnecessary, but he made so many scenes kind of like a little bit funnier just because he's just there being just being doesn't care, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Like during Dustin's speech at the end, he just like, it just clips to him and he just goes language. And like, it's like, that's so unnecessary, but it was just kind of funny, you know? So Ted was good. I don't know if I wouldn't put him on the board.
No.
He is such
but I thought he was an honorable mention.
Yeah, he has such little importance, but.
Do you want to put Billy on the board?
I loved Billy.
I love Billy.
Billy was such a good character.
That actor, phenomenal.
I'm kind of surprised they killed him off just because of how good he was.
Yeah.
Like, he was so... But I guess that made you care about the fact that he got killed off more.
I thought his redemption arc was pretty good. They gave him a bit of a redemption arc.
Yeah, because the redemption arc happened very quickly. It was like he showed him true self when he could while he was possessed or whatever you want to call it. And it really is a show about possession, which is... You don't really think of it as possession when you're watching it, but it is. Like, they get possessed. Mm-hmm. Huh. But yeah, Billy was great. He... Similar to Erica, he wasn't in a lot.
Erica was in more,
but I mean, like, he wasn't in very much, but the stuff he was in, he was like the highest importance of that season. Was that season 3?
He was in from 2 to... He was in season 2 because that's when Max came. And season 3, I think, was the mall season, and that's when he died. So he was in 2 seasons. He
essentially was the villain. He was the villain character in season 3.
Because we didn't know who Vecna was or anything like that at that point. We
didn't really like top down list it.
No, we kind of categorized. Well, to me right now, this is like love. This seems like needed. Necessary. I feel like this is also like, but less necessary.
The thing about every character is that every single character had some sort of necessary.
Yeah.
Like, if you cut any of these characters, it would be a very different show. They all played an essential role. Mm-hmm. You know?
Okay, we're almost done. Let's keep going.
Wait, there's more? How many more characters are there?
It depends. Do you want to talk about the doctor? So, like, Dr. Martin Brenner.
Oh.
The lab guy. Because, like, plot-wise, very necessary. Character-wise?
He did a good job.
Yeah. Do you want to put him on the board? Because then this is also the question, are these all the necessary people to tell the story?
We're getting to too many people to rank. I think we can just talk about the rest of the people.
You don't want to put Vecna on the board?
Oh, shit. We haven't
There's, like, a lot. Because this is ranked by how many episodes there were in. Because Vecna, he wasn't in a lot.
Let's keep going.
So do you want Dr. Brenner?
Yeah, let's just put them all on the board. Okay. I feel like what we're going to do, let's just keep, I like this system.
Okay.
Because we're not going to go 1 to 30.
No.
So let's just keep this. This is a good system. Okay.
Where would you put Dr. Brenner? Because he's kind of necessary.
I'd probably put him below 11 and Will. Because he's necessary. But I wasn't. He did his job. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, do I think he was the absolute best casting for that character? He was good casting. Do I think somebody else could have done it equally as well? Yeah. You know, not that he didn't do a bad job, but I wasn't like whenever he came into a scene, I wasn't like, yes, Dr. Brenner's, but I was just kind of, you know.
Would you put him here or there?
What? What do you mean?
Or would you put him with Mike and Jonathan?
I'd put him above Mike and Jonathan just because his importance to the show.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the other Dr. Sam? So that was the nice doctor.
Oh, he was great.
He was great.
I
don't think he needs to go on the board.
I don't know if he needs to go on the board.
No, he's just.
He was good though. Like he was essential to the show. They're all essential. Great. That is a sign of the great writing. Is that every single character was essential, even if they were only in for a little bit, except Ted. That's why Ted was funny.
Funny. Okay. Vecna/Henry/Orderly. That actor, powerhouse.
Great. The fact that was his real voice.
And he played all those
roles. Wild. Hello. I can't. I'm trying to go that deep. The fact that he didn't have to. I couldn't believe that was his voice. That blew my mind that he can go that deep. I don't know what that's called. Is that a baritone? Mm-hmm. But that's not even baritone. That's like making a cartoon voice, but he just has a wildly low cartoon voice. Great acting, even when he wasn't Vecna. Mm-hmm. When he was Henry? The
little boy that they cast as Henry too. He was good.
Yeah.
Would you place him here? I loved it more when he was around compared to these two. I got more excited whenever Vecna
He was a good one. I'd put him on the second row, honestly. He did a great job. Yeah, I feel like we're making categories. That's all right. I like this system. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was great. He was great as Vecna. I thought it was funny when you saw online that like Vecna got a trimmer waist, and then he did. I noticed that in the fourth season, he's kind of like almost got like a little bit of a beer belly. Like he's like a skinny guy.
Well,
he's
it was
like
a fat suit. It was a suit in the first season.
He's a fat skinny guy, you know. And then in the fifth season, he looked kind of jacked. Yeah.
Which is funny.
Yeah. Anyways, who's next?
So do you want to include Bob Newby?
Bob was great.
He was only in one season, but
he was so good though.
He was so. And if we're thinking about the over arc of the show, what did Bob do?
Bob.
Like, did his legacy carry on? I think it did in the sense of, I think Bob was a transitioning point for Joyce to have a bit of joy in her life. He was a good guy.
When Joyce went to chop off Vecna's head, that was her flashback.
It was Bob.
Was Bob getting killed. I think Bob...
And Will was really sweet, too, the relationship they developed.
Yeah. I think Bob allowed the Byer family to be like a family again. He kind of brought them together. His importance to the show.
Does that get him on the board or no?
He was just such a good character. But that's another one of those things where he's such a good actor. Like everything he's in, that guy's good.
He's great.
He's great. What's his name?
Sean Astin.
Yeah, I don't know if he should go on the show or on the.
I don't know.
He's great. Let's leave him off.
Holly Wheeler, because of the last season. I'm indifferent. I don't think she needs to go on the board. She did a great job. She served her purpose. Do I care about her? Not really.
She was very important to the show.
Yeah.
The second and I keep mixing up the seasons. The fourth and fifth season were very revolved around her.
It's just the fifth season.
Wasn't the fourth season about her too?
No, but they released the fifth season in 2 parts. So I think
right.
That's why.
Yeah, right.
She was only in this last season. Because then that's the question of, do you want to put Derek on the board?
She was one of those... Derek. Oh, I love Derek. So, because he brought up Derek. So, Erica, Holly, Derek. Holly is at the bottom of the list and how much I liked the young actors. Yeah. She was really, really important. I thought her acting was good, but in comparison to like Erica's or Derek's, I thought Derek's acting was really, really good. Yeah. I feel like we have to put Holly on the board because Holly's.
I would put Holly here.
I'd put Holly here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's necessary.
She's necessary, but she's not like,
Whereas like Derek isn't necessary, so I'm not sure if we can put Derek on the board, but he was great.
Was Derek not necessary?
Well, I guess he helped.
I feel like Derek was as necessary as Bob.
Yeah.
An
where mention.
He filled a role. Yeah, I don't know if he can be. He helped. I don't know. Let's leave him off. Sorry, Derek. Derek was great though.
Yeah, and then the other one, which is a question, is Eddie Munson.
Oh, I loved Eddie. Eddie was great. Yeah, I think Eddie's got to be on there.
You have no personal biases there? an Eddie
Why?
to an Eddie.
Oh no. I thought Eddie was such a good.
And he's someone who's stayed alive throughout the show, even after he died,
Yeah.
just through memory and things like
Yeah,
that.
so his character had such an impact. Where Bob kind of just like once Bob was dead, Bob was dead.
Well, it came up a couple of times.
Yeah, but not
as
like
much
Eddie.
as Eddie.
Eddie was such a. And he played such a good role. He did such a good job of being, like. He did such a good job of being like a coward, but a coward that's committed to the cause. You know what I mean? Like everything was like I'll do it, but I don't want to die. And then at the end, he had a good arc where he became a hero and he went off and died. But then there was that whole thing with Steve where he was like he died for no reason. Anyways, yeah, Eddie did a good job.
Did you? I don't think we need to put Dr. K on the board. The new doctor.
I really didn't like her.
I didn't like it. Do you know what that character was for me? I think that was the Duffer Brothers adding someone who they didn't need, but also doing it because of the woman who they cast, who was a badass woman. But a lot of people probably didn't even know who that was.
What do you mean?
She was the original actress from Terminator. So I think a couple of times as the show got older.
Just a casting thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to me, that was one of those moments I was like, oh, they created this character to hire like an old legacy actor from the time period because that's a cool thing to do. Yeah. That's how I saw that character.
Yeah. She was good.
She was good.
I just don't really like the actor either.
Yeah.
I've never really, I've seen her in lots of stuff and I've just kind of been like, yeah, she's okay.
I saw that as a legacy writing hire.
Yeah, and I think the reason I don't like her is just like an opinion thing. She's not bad. It's just like not my style Yeah. She's very intense. She has that like Terminator vibe. You know what I mean? Where she has sci-fi show vibes, which is great. It's a sci-fi show. Is that it?
Do you want to talk about
3?
I don't think
6,
I think the
9,
other one
10,
who was just
12.
relevant in this last season was
17 characters.
Was her sister 8, but I don't think she needs to go on the board.
I didn't like her.
I didn't like her.
I thought she was.
Do you want to put Barb on the board?
Honestly, you know what I think they should have done?
What?
I don't think 8 was necessary. No. I think they should have given 8's powers to Will. And Will could have done all that shit. Yeah. Except for that one episode where she goes to New York or whatever the hell she was.
I hated that episode.
That was a weird episode. It was
Didn't like it. Wasn't necessary.
And it was so random in the sense of they never did that again. Yeah. They never once just took off and did a whole. It was almost like a test. For I wonder what that got rated.
I don't know.
Because you looked up the Rotten Tomato thing, right? Mm-hmm. What was it? Because there was a whole layout of which things did bad and which things did good. You know what I'm saying?
Can you look up what episode that was? Just Google.
11.
What season was
meets it? 8 episode. That was season 2, episode 7, The Lost Sister. Yeah, because I thought she was. I don't know. It seemed pushed. It seemed like they really wanted to have a sister or a sibling or someone who experienced the same thing. But I think it would have been really cool. But I guess they couldn't have given that to Will because then Will would have. But I don't think the episode that we're about to look at, season 2, episode 7, I don't think that episode is even necessary.
There's no ratings for it on the site.
They could have done something completely different. You know what I mean? Because if they would have given Will those powers, Will could have done all the stuff that 8 did in the 5th season. And he could have done the thing that he made. But then, you know what? You know what the problem is? I'm talking to myself right now. Are you there?
I'm here, but I'm leaned away from the mic to do this research.
Well, let's research.
So, it's gotten 3 out of 5 stars. So I feel that people are indifferent about it.
I think the biggest importance for her in the 5th season was that Eleven and her had this kind of secret going on that they were going to kill themselves, and that's how they were going to end things, and they needed somebody outside of the group to do that with 11, because it couldn't have happened in, like, if she told Will that she was going to have to kill herself,
that wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked because Will would have told people. So I think that's probably why they needed that exterior character. But also that could have been an
individual journey that we saw just with her.
Yeah.
Piecing it together. Okay.
Other than that, Will could have had those powers.
Yeah.
And I thought that would have been cool.
So this is it. This is what we got. Do we want to move anyone? Do we want to try to differentiate it even more?
Let's see what we got here.
To be honest, I could move Hopper from here to here and just keep...
I love Hopper.
I know you love Hopper, but I'm saying personally, if it was my board, he would be in this line.
It's our board.
I know. I might put Billy up there.
We got a lot. Really?
I love Billy.
Billy was good.
But to me, I feel like this line is, if they would die, we would riot.
Like, and this line, also, I don't know what they would have done if Jim died.
Yeah.
Like, in the, when did Jim almost blow up?
Well, Jim did die and went to Russia, so that's what they wrote down.
He, like, that's what I mean, though. Like, he didn't die. Mm-hmm. Like, when that happened, and I really thought they died, because that was, not to pick apart a sci-fi show, but that was one of the things that happened where I was like, how did he survive and explode? Like, you know, everyone else fucking evaporated and Jim just jumped out of the way. You know, I was like, all right, come on. But when that happened, I was like, how are you going to, like, what are you going to do now? Mm-hmm. You know? So that's kind of why. And just because I thought he was a great actor. Yeah. I think this is pretty solid. Mm-hmm. Because it's almost like necessity and love did a great job and are important. Need to be there, even though if they were just kind of like, whatever. These characters are all like, they did a good job.
They did a really good job.
Everyone did a great job. Yeah. By the way, and this goes back to the thing I said in the beginning. Everyone was spectacular.
But I just didn't love them as much as I love these
But it's just like the bar was so high with all the people up here that those characters were just kind of, and a lot of the times, like even like Nancy's character, great actor. The writing was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jonathan deserves to be on the bottom. I feel like I like Jonathan.
You just want Mike to be there by himself?
I like Jonathan more than Mike. Yeah. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
Put a little sad face on Mike.
No.
Aww. Because he was sad most of the show.
Well, he whined about everything all the time, and I just wasn't into it. I was like, grow up.
Grow up, Mike.
I know you're a kid, but
get over
come
it.
on.
11 doesn't even like you. Yeah.
You didn't even get the girl at the end. Even his scene in season 5.
I feel bad saying that.
I know, but even the scene in season 5 where Hopper found him on a park bench, and the fact that it was a year and a half later, I was like, really?
Well, if I died in a magical mist, would you not be sad a year and a half from now?
We have like a real relationship. I guess I didn't consider their relationship real.
Yeah,
which maybe is me.
Well, you also got to remember that they were what, like 15?
Kids. They were kids.
Yeah. But at the same time, when you're 15 and you like somebody, that's a big deal. So, yeah, like, I could see it being, you know.
I could see that. I
don't know. It was weird. I feel bad putting Mike at the bottom, but I just, like, whenever Mike was one of the only characters that when Mike was in a scene, I was kind of like, get this guy out of here, you know. And I don't think it was the actor's fault.
No,
he did a good job. The acting was awesome. I saw a few things saying that it was bad acting. I'm like,
no,
it was incredible. No, I mean like the whole show.
Yeah,
I was like, this was such good acting, in terms of consistency and like.
It was casted very well.
It was casted extremely well. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, that's too tall.
Let us know if you agree, disagree. These are our thoughts.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, an end of an era.
Ah, my knees!